aspects of where you choose to get your degree. However, there's another aspect of universities that I highly recommend that you look at. Very few people are giving this advice. I am just amazed that so few people give this advice, because this is easily the best way to save not only the most money on your degree, but the most time on your degree as well. And that is to look at what you can test out of at different universities, because there are advanced placement tests. States offer PSEO, which is where when you are in high school, you can apply for PSEO, and then if you get accepted, then you can go to a community college for free and have the credits that you take at that community college while you are in high school, while you are a teenager. You can have those credits go toward your degree in the future when you apply for college. And of course, colleges have other stuff that you can test out of as well sometimes, like testing out of languages. But that is something that you absolutely must look into when you are looking at what college to attend. It's just as important as all the previous things I mentioned people usually look at. Or people usually think to look at anyway. A lot of people don't even consider price or internship opportunities, which I think is absolutely insane. But no, you really need to look at what you're allowed to test out of, because it varies so much from school to school. Once again, at a lot of these more prestigious universities, they don't allow you to test out of certain credits. Well, oftentimes, like for example, when I was in high school, and that's how I got practically 2 years of college out of the way, and I was able to. I only had to take 2 years of college in the classroom in order to graduate. However, at a lot of these prestigious universities, they just allow you to test out of the lower level classes, but you don't actually get credit for them. The credit that you would receive for those classes don't count toward your degree. So, like, for example, if you took the psychology advanced placement test, and you got a 5 on it, because usually at the more prestigious universities you have to get a 5 in order to get credit for it. So let's say you got a 5 on the psychology advanced placement test, then you would be able to get rid of intro to psychology as a prerequisite, so then you could take more advanced level psychology courses, but those 3 credits or those 4 credits or however the credit system works at the university, you wouldn't get those credits on your transcript to go toward your final degree. You'd just be able to get out of that class, and that's kind of bullshit. It really is. I would think it would actually be a disadvantage then to test out of those classes, because they're easier classes. Why wouldn't you want to take the easier classes so you can pad your GPAs? But that's how it works at a lot of these universities, so you have to be very careful and you have to see what they accept. And also, at a lot of universities, they'll accept 3s for full credit.
Advanced placement test is pretty easy to achieve, and that's how I was able to take 12 advanced
placement tests in 1 year, because my goal was just to get straight 3s. And I mean, I got a couple 4s as well, but I mainly just got 3s. I mainly studied just enough to get a 3 on each test, and that's how I was able to take so many. And I didn't find out that you could independently study for them until my senior year either. What I'd recommend, definitely, if you're in high school right now, and that's why I say this video is mainly for you young people who are 17, 16, 15, 14, or even younger, to start studying for either advanced placement tests now, or applying to go into PSEO, because those are really the best ways to get college credit out of the way while you're young, practically for free. Back when I took advanced placement tests, it was $80 per test, and I lived in Minnesota, and the tests were actually subsidized there, so I was able to take them for $30 a test. So my 12 tests that I took cost a total of $360, and I ended up getting, I think like 49 or 50 college credits for those tests, and it was highway robbery, basically, because at a lot of colleges, it costs $300-some just for 1 credit. And I mean, because some of those tests, keep in mind, they are worth 6 or 8 credits, because they count for 2 classes if you do well enough, and so I mean, if you get 6... sometimes even less, and so, I mean, I really just game the system, and I'm trying to help you all game the system here, and you don't know the system shit. The system is gaming you, by the way. They want to put you in as much debt as possible, and force you to take jobs that you don't want to take to pay back this massive debt. I'm trying to keep you all out of debt right now by telling you how to avoid it in the first place, and that's decide what you want to do. Does what you want to do require college? If it does require college, what's the cheapest way to get that degree out of the way, and what's the way to achieve that degree in the least amount of time? And it doesn't matter what you major in, really, either, because I mean, even degrees that are very structured and require a lot of technical classes that you can't really test out of, such as engineering degrees, even if you're going to major in engineering, you can still get a year of college out of the way easily with advanced placement tests, because you can test out of calculus, you can test out of physics, You can test out of chemistry, you can test out of biology, and at most of these universities, they require you to take a bunch of bullshit humanities credits, so you're quote-unquote well-rounded. And it's complete bullshit, it's complete extortion. It's a way for them to take extra money out of you so that you can take the classes you need to take in order to get to the degree to get the job that you want. But luckily you can test out of them. You can test out of psychology, you can test out of sociology, you can test out of... they usually make you take a couple composition classes, you can test out of those. So you can basically test out of your whole first year, because that's what the first year of most engineering programs is calculus, physics, chemistry, biology, and then a semester of just bullshit humanities credits. The only thing I don't think you can test out of in most cases is public speaking. Pretty much every university across America makes you take a public speaking course, but that's really easy. That's just like writing speeches and giving them, and I mean, it was easy for me, because I love to talk, and I can talk forever. My whole life, people have told me I'm such a good speaker, so apparently it's not easy for everybody, but, I mean, just write some shit and speak, and you'll get an A. It's not that hard. Also, besides looking into if AP credits, or if PSEO credits, or if CLEP credits will be counted in the first place, see how many credits you can test out of as well, because there are a lot of universities where you're allowed to test out of up to 2 years worth of credit, or basically half of your credits you need to graduate, and that's basically what I did, because I took 12 AP tests my senior year, and that was like 50 credits, and then once I got to college, I took the language placement test for Spanish, and I tested out of Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, so that was another 8 credits, and that was very cheap as well. That ended up being like $5 a credit, so that was like 58 credits right there, and that was basically half the credits I needed to graduate. And I also had an internship during college as well, which counted for college credit as well, so plus the internship, that's basically like 61 credits, so it was about half my credits I tested out of and gotten for pennies on the dollar, literally. But at not every university you can do that. I mean, I'm sure there's some universities where you can only test out of 30 credits or 40 credits, and it depends on the program sometimes too. Sometimes there's programs that let you test out of 60 credits, sometimes there's programs that only let you test out of 30 or 20, or it really just depends on the college or the program, because programs across America aren't really standardized. The colleges across America aren't really, I mean, they're standardized in some ways, but not in this way. They have different, as far as testing out of stuff, there really isn't a set limit. I mean, if my videos become popular enough and enough people copy what I did, then they'll probably not allow this anymore in the future. But until then, yeah, you can find ways to get around it and to test out of a year or two of college. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but while I'm on the subject of testing out of classes, find out what classes you'll be required to take for your degree. One of the first things you should want to get your hands on when looking at different colleges is a undergraduate academic catalog. Absolutely. There's so many people who will tour colleges and they'll go, oh, I like this college, they have a nice wellness center, or they have a nice dorm, or they have a nice whatever, and that stuff really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I mean, it does to a certain extent, but I mean, one of the things that you for sure need to be made aware of is what classes you need to graduate, how many credits you need to graduate, what types of classes you need to graduate, what prerequisites you need to take certain classes. This stuff is all very important and very relevant. I'm shocked at how many people there are who are in college today who don't know how many more classes they need to take in order to graduate, or what credits they need in order to graduate. They literally just go to their academic advisor, and their academic advisor tells them, oh, you need to take this class and this class and this class this semester. And they're like, oh, okay. And they never look at an academic catalog. They never look at how many more credits they need to take. And I just think that's absolutely insane that they're spending all this money on this college year after year after year, and they don't even know what path they're on. They don't even know what they're working toward, or they don't know how close they are to their goal, and I find that absolutely crazy. So up an academic catalog from every single university that you tour, or most of them are available online, so if you're not going to go tour universities, then download a PDF of the academic catalog online and just find out what the requirements are for the program that you want to go into at that university, so you know how much of it you're able to test out of. And a ton of money on college and save yourself a ton of time at college, so you can get a head start on your career, so you can get a head start on whatever you want to achieve. And really, your life is too short for you to waste all of your youth inside of an academic institution that extorts money from you so academics and bureaucrats can get paid. In most cases, get paid to teach you bullshit that you don't need. So in review, figure out what you want to do, figure out the barriers to entry, find out the best college for you using the criteria that I mentioned, find a fucking academic catalog so you know what courses you need to take, and find out what you're able to test out of. That is really what is going to save you the most money. It really, really is. Seriously, I just laughed to myself thinking about how much money I saved testing out shit. And it's very doable too. Don't let anybody tell you that you aren't able to test out of that many classes, or that, oh, you won't retain as much information. You need to take the classes so you can actually learn. That's such bullshit. It really is, because nobody remembers the shit they learned in college anyway. If you ask people what they learned in their college courses, if you ask adults who are 30, 40, 50 years old what they learned in their college courses, they aren't gonna remember, because it's useless bullshit that they didn't need for their job, and they just went to college because they needed a piece of paper in order to get their job. They didn't need most of those classes, and so of course they aren't gonna remember that shit. So if it doesn't remember, so if you aren't gonna remember that shit from the actual class, then it doesn't matter if you're gonna forget that shit after taking a test. Just study for the test, take the test, get your credit, be done.
On your feet!
Establishing the overhead, ready for work.
Friendly lightning strike inbound.
Confirm, 1 EKIA.
Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint contested.
On your feet! On your feet!
Be advised your sentry gun has been destroyed. Hardpoint contested.
Reload!
Lightning strike on standby. Hardpoint contested. Sentry gun ready for deployment.
Point out.
Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint contested.
Got it right. Kill confirmed. Got a threat. Support! It's hot. On your feet.
Hardpoint is ours.
Dropped him. Reload.
Hardpoint contested.
Pushing your location. Time now.
Friendly lightning strike inbound. Hostiles have destroyed your sentry gun. Hardpoint contested.
That's a kill. Transitioning. Dropped him. Smoked.
Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint lockdown. Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed.
That's a kill.
Lightning strike awaiting coordinates. Death machine spinning up. Hardpoint contested. AGR on standby. Hardpoint contested. Friendly AGR inbound. Hardpoint contested.
On your feet. Right now. Target down. Reload.
Hardpoint contested.
Sniper's history.
Our sensor is captured.
Lightning strike coordinates received. Inbound.
Good kill.
Hardpoint contested.
It's hot.
Objective almost ready. Exploration complete. Nice job, grunts.